So are you a player who might be struggling a little bit with that early extension coming into impact? Are you struggling with some heel strikes, maybe a few shots out of the hosel, the dreaded S word? If that's you, I've got a wonderful drill that I think is really going to help. I'm going to share that with you today. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Danny Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. And today I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite drills to help with early extension and even those heel strikes. But before I do, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing by clicking the button below. And I'm also offering online coaching to golfers all around the world. So if you're interested in personalized coaching from myself, where you can send your videos through online through a wonderful app, and I can send them back with an analysis, some lines and a good full detail analysis of what you should be looking for, and also with a video like this of me in front of the camera speaking into some personalized drills that are going to help you move forward with your game. So if you're interested in that coaching, please click the button there above and there'll be more information on that for you there. So let's get into today's content. So we're talking about my favorite drill, and I got taught this myself when I was back in my playing days by a really great coach back in the UK, and it's a drill that I've taken to some of my coaching today, and it helps a lot of players. So early extension, it helps with that, and it helps with heel strikes. So if you're doing one or both of those things, keep tuned in. So early extension, firstly, what is that? So that's when we get to either in the backswing or in the downswing when our pelvis starts to move early towards the ball. So imagine a line here. If there's a line on my bum, at any point during the backswing or the downswing, if that was starting to move forward towards the ball, that would be termed early extension. Now, what can that cause? Well, that can cause, as the pelvis moves forward, the hips generally stall out, the club generally drops in behind, handle gets very high, you can, inconsistent strikes, you can hit the ground before, directional issues. So it's something that 70% of amateurs do and 99% of professionals don't do. So a little insight there into how important this might be. So oftentimes I see early extension being a result of the club face being too open at the top, and from there players generally get a little bit steep, a little bit over the top from there. Now in a position that if we continue in this manner, we're probably going to miss the ball. So the body knows, it's quite clever in that way. To start this ball somewhat online, we've got to do something different. So from there, if we continue in this manner, we're probably going to miss the ball. So what will happen is the pelvis will work forward, the club will drop back into a somewhat functional position to make contact, handle gets high, we can hit blocks out there, we can hit hooks, we can hit heel strikes, all sorts of things can happen there, hit the ground before, not the most powerful or efficient way to make contact. So that's generally what I see. And also when it comes to heel strikes in general, now that can be many different reasons for heel strikes. It can be a bit of early extension, it can be too close, too far away, it can just be that skill element of understanding where you're striking it and just making those small refinements. But this drill that I'm going to share with you will help with both. So if you're doing one, great. If you're doing both, great. This can help. So very simple one to do. You don't need any equipment, just you and your ball. And so if you take your normal setup position, you can just do this with an iron. I've got a 7-iron here. Normal setup position, normal distance from the ball that you'd be doing. Now, if you were to just take that golf ball and move it about an inch or so, just start small initially, about an inch or so in towards you. So you're setting it up out of the heel of the club, and place it about an inch or two ahead of you there. So you notice that's slightly inside and it's slightly forward. Now, you're probably looking at that and thinking, whoa, how am I going to make contact with that? It's way inside, it's way forward. And this is the thing, it kind of doesn't force you, but you've got to figure out a way to make contact with that, and then you'll start to move differently, do some better things to do it. So I really love this drill for the right player at the right time. So from the top of the swing now, if you used to start to early extend from here, then I'm moving closer to the ball, the club's working out to the right and very high. Chances are I'm going to miss that or really hit super out of the heel. So what am I going to have to do to make contact? Well, I'm going to have to, key number one is to get my pelvis out of the way. So to do that, I'm going to need to be shifting and working my lower body in the right way. So a nice little shift towards the target, and my belt buckle will start to work under me here. And this will create this room to actually be able to deliver my arms and the club to even make contact with that. Because again, if I'm out here, I'm probably going to miss it. So it really forces you to do that for number one. So we'll start with that initially. So what I want you to do is just make some little swings to start with. So just swinging back, and the goal is to make contact firstly. So can you make contact, number one? So from here, there. So to make contact with that, I've had to create room. I've had to reduce my early extension to make contact. Number two would also be the progression to that once you've started to make contact would be understanding your ball flight as well. So you want to start this left. Many people that early extend will start it right, block it, or start it right, and then it works left as a hook. So imagine your target line being out here. You can use an alignment rod in here just ahead of the ball, and can you start it left? And so with this ball inside and in front of you, you want to be starting that ball left and seeing it not hook left. So this is also a side benefit of, for those players that early extend and get really flippy, body stalls and the club flips too much. This has a side benefit of, if you, yes, make contact, great, but if you still flip it from there, then we're also bringing in the benefit of managing your club face a little bit better. So you should start to see a little bit of a pull fade idea where it starts left and then maybe curves a little bit to the right. So here we go. So I've had to move back and out of the way, and you should see that ball start to fade ever so slightly to the right there. So that's a really, really wonderful drill to help. You could see on camera there my pelvis getting out of the way to actually make contact. So that's number one for the early extension. Number two is for those necky strikes. If you're hitting it out of here, this is a wonderful, wonderful drill for that as well. Wonderful drill. So again, normally, if I left that inside and forward, I'm going to be more towards the heel. So again, it's forcing you to not only get your pelvis out of the way to create room, but then you've actually got to use that room wisely and bring in the arms, lowering the arms, bringing in the hands closer to you here. So you're not out there towards the neck, hands are coming in closer, and you're going to feel as though you're almost hitting this ball out the toe, even though it's way inside where it would initially be. So you can do some little swings here, again, where I'm going to force my pelvis out of the way for one, but also start to bring the arms lower and get that striking almost out the toe. So here we go. There. So this is a wonderful one for striking, a wonderful one to improve your striking. And then you can progress that to some fuller swings. So normal setup again, bring it inside and slightly forward. And then from here, some fuller swings, focusing on that strike. And to monitor the strike as well, you can use strike spray too. So you get some strike spray on your club face and just see and monitor where you're striking that. But again, it's really forcing you to go to an extreme to create more room so that when you come back to playing your normal shot, so you've just been practicing for a while with it inside and forward, and you've been able to make contact out of the center of the face. Now, if your player's been shanking it in the recent times, and you've been doing that drill for a while, you know that you've been able to get your club in here somewhere. So you've now got a feel or reference point for if you are getting those shots out on the course, you've got a feel to go to. So when you go back to your normal ball now, you can just be feeling a bit of what you've been doing there, a bit of this sort of move to try and get that club working a bit more in towards you. So from here, there, and you'll start to move it away, not only with better body movements, but also with that added skill of just understanding where you're striking it on your face. That there, guys, is just one of my favorite go-to drills for one or both of those challenges, either early extension or heel strike. So again, just starting normal, bring it about an inch inside and then 1 to 2 inches ahead. It also has that benefit from this view of putting it ahead a little bit. Again, it also forces you, particularly with your irons there, to get across and get your pressure shifting to be able to make that ball turf contact as well. So just a wonderful go-to drill. Just thought I'd share that with you guys today. So hopefully that helps. Give that a try. Let me know if you've got any questions on it. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.